she seems to be doing a Michael Jackson here, you know, with these photographs. It is quite serious because of the implications. As you say, you know, William travels as a family. That's never really been done much with the royals. They've always travelled separately in case of accidents and things going wrong so that the succession isn't interrupted. But yeah, it shows quite easily how that succession, if anything did happen, could be interrupted. And then the onus falls back onto these two children who, bless them, they're lovely children, whoever created them. But it should be discussed. There's so many dark areas with this.
I have to ask a serious question. Why is the mainstream media failing to ask the right questions about whether Meghan Markle actually gave birth to Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet? Now, this is something that you won't see anyone in the mainstream tackle. It's one of the reasons why I set up Outspoken for royal reporting, because I made it very, very clear I will go where the royal rota won't. And this is an issue which raises serious concerns about the line of succession. And it's an issue that Buckingham Palace and Meghan and Harry could end very, very quickly if there was nothing to see here, folks. So as you know, I have gone there on the show this year with both Lady Colin Campbell and Samantha Markle. Watch.
But look, let me ask the question that everyone wants to know. Mm-hmm. Does Buckingham Palace have questions to answer regarding the births of Archie and Lilibet, the children of Harry and Meghan, and potentially whether they should not be in the line of succession? Which, let's be honest, this is a difficult question, but it's a question that has constitutional implications and is surely in the public interest.
Well, it certainly does have constitutional implications, and it is in the national interest. I think the matter should be cleared up one way or the other. Of course, you can't blame the palace for the mess because they didn't create it. And, you know, they have found themselves caught up in what they regard as a no-win situation. And on the face of it, it is a no-win situation for them because Meghan, and I suspect to an extent Harry, have also played things so cannily that the palace are, they think if they do, they die. If they don't, they still die. But I don't think that's actually true. I think they should beat Harry and Meghan at their game. And the matter should be cleared up. You know, the citizens of this country have an absolute right to know that anybody in the line of succession has a valid place there. And there should be no doubt whatsoever. And if the participants have created a doubt, which Meghan and Harry have certainly created, whether you could say that the doubt is a valid one or not is another matter altogether. And I need to say that for legal reasons, as you will know only too well. But, you know, it's their conduct, hers especially, but he has been collusive in all of this. And yes, I think that this is something that's not going away. And, you know, I've spoken to people about this at a very senior level, and it's not going to go away. And they can play ostrich till they're blue in the face. It's ultimately, they are either going, well, I suppose if William accedes to the throne without a problem, and he doesn't travel with his children, there will be no foreseeable problem. But if they continue traveling en bloc, there is a valid ongoing concern as to the fact that you can have Harry and Meghan on the throne, which I think would be the end of the monarchy, but then you would also have Archie and Lilibet in the immediate line of succession, way in front of everybody else who was born without any queries. And Meghan's conduct and Harry's conduct are the things that have created these questions. And I think it is in the interest of the British Crown and the British people that this be addressed very straightforwardly. Provide the proof to the world that those children were, well, let me rephrase that. I want to be careful how I put this. Provide the proof to the world that those children were born in such a way that no questions can be asked, which means they have to provide absolute proof that Meghan bore those children and was delivered of those children herself. Failing which, this is not going away, and it's thanks to Meghan's conduct and the way she has conducted herself that these questions have arisen in the first place.
Have you discussed it with your father, Thomas?
Mhm.
What's his
Yeah,
view?
he said the same. He said the same thing. I don't believe, and he doesn't believe that there are kids, because you don't yank around and use alleged children as pawns so much. We're only going to let you see our children if you behave in a certain way, and we can control the landscape. I mean, it was like really sick and contrived, and I think he got to the point where, excuse my French, BS. This is not how you treat human beings about something so special and so important as family, whether it's the line of succession or genealogy, and the ability to see, quote, grandchildren before you pass away. A lot of family members want that, if just to be able to have a point of reference, write something down in the family memoirs that, here's another addition to the family. So I think it's been a very cruel game, and I think he accepts it. And he even said, we've seen this much of this kid with bandages around its face, like it didn't move or blink or anything, and that was very weird.
Leilani Dowding, June Slater. Okay, Leilani, what do you make of this one? Should there be questions asked?
I guess you can always ask questions. You should always ask questions. I mean, I saw this list come through yesterday and I was Googling moon bump like crazy. Meghan Markle moon bump. So you had me going down a little bit of a rabbit hole because I hadn't heard it. But, I think it opens wider points as well about, like you said, succession, but also how she is with her family and just the grandkids in general, not being able to see their grandfather and on Meghan's side and that as well. But yeah, no, you had me googling Meghan moon bump a lot, and
What did you think?
Well, there were some interesting photos, that's for sure.
Oh,
Definitely some interesting photos.
I mean, the thing, June, that people forget with this story is that the reason it matters is because Archie and Lilibet would have to be removed from the line of succession if they were not born from Meghan's body. Now, some people might think that's really old-fashioned and cruel, but them's the rules. And there was a lot of weird things, June, because remember, I was covering this first pregnancy really closely, and there were a lot of weird things that went on. She refused to use the hospital that all royals usually give birth at. She announced that she had gone into labor actually when she had already given birth and the baby was already at home at Kensington Palace. So you can understand, can't you, why these questions are being asked?
I completely get it, especially from the dynasty point of view, because it matters, because it's a multi-million pound concern. It's a 1,200-year-old product line here. It's a business that they've got rights to. I've got to say, first of all, I am a huge fan of Lady Colin Campbell. I love that woman. She dresses like Christmas every day. I think she's fantastic. And, she'll know this stuff. I'd never even considered it. I mean, she seems to be doing a Michael Jackson here, with these photographs. it is quite serious because of the implications. As you say, William travels as a family. That's never really been done much with the royals. They've always travelled separately in case of accidents and things going wrong, so that the succession isn't interrupted. But yeah, it shows quite easily how that succession, if anything did happen, could be interrupted, and then the onus falls back onto these two children, who, bless them, they're lovely children. Whoever created them. But it should be discussed. There's so many dark areas with this. See, unfortunately for me, when she married, what's he called? Ginger Winger. What's he called?
Harry.
Yeah, when she
You
married
just know him as the Ginger
Winger,
Winger.
I thought, now the Ginger Winger is going to really perform. He's got an older woman. She's beautiful. I think she got a particularly nice sounding voice, actually. And she was a beautiful bride. Okay, it went a bit like a Caribbean calypso wedding, but hey, this is the new life we live, and the royals welcomed her with open arms. A few cryptic comments about Prince Philip, but it was like that about absolutely everything. He was funny. He had naturally wicked sense of humour.
Well, you mean Meghan is someone to be had a bit of fun with, but not to settle down with? That actress, I think he said.
Yeah, I mean, he was a sod, but that was his nature. That was just his nature. And too old to change, 90 odd. She was welcomed into that family. And then all of a sudden, once she got a grip of him, and we've seen it, haven't we? How many mother-in-laws are saying that about their daughter-in-laws today? Oh, yeah. She twisted him away. She got him away from his family. She got him away from his charity. She got him away from the military. Whoa. Steady on there, boy. Pull those horses back. What's going on with this couple? So I dumped them as a focal point. I thought, right, that's it. He's daft enough to follow that. No more support from me. Not that I did anything other than watch what was going on from an entertainment sort of way. But this couple have milked it dry. I mean, this couple, I think if there was a cut being given for people milking things that are going wrong in their life, there would be these two and Kate Garraway. Dead Derek comes back for Christmas through a seance. There'll be something like that, no doubt. I think these people are sorry,
Leilani, I was just going to say, the thing about the traveling together, though, is important because the late Queen Elizabeth II used to say to William, you can't do it. And William can be very stubborn and very intransigent. And I'm sorry, I'm usually on William's side, but this is a massive mistake, Leilani. And this is where it gets really important because if William and his family were to be killed in a plane or helicopter accident, and remember, this is William sometimes flying his family himself in a helicopter, we get we get King Harry and Queen Meghan. So that's why it matters, and that's why then the line of succession really comes into play with Archie and Lilibet, you see.
Yeah, no, that is a really good point. And we've seen how many accidents there have been where, sports teams, for example, the entire team gets killed.
Or the Leicester City boss.
Tragic accident. Yeah, so I can see why I don't think William should be traveling with the children at all. Maybe, I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? But
thing is, he wants to have a normal life, but the problem is you don't have a normal life. And even Leilani, if, for example, if he had a rule where William travelled with Louis and Charlotte and Catherine travelled with George, you would mitigate the risk. You would keep the line of succession intact. And I really think William starts needing to do that, honestly.
Yeah, no, I do actually agree with you. I think, you have to, there are 3 children. Let's not have all 3 children traveling with him at the same time, because we really don't want Harry and Meghan being head of the monarchy.
No. And that's why I think there are questions to answer. And remember, it was Meghan who created all of these issues in the first place, because it used to be, June, a royal birth had to be overseen by the Home Secretary because it matters. It's very important that we make sure that this baby is actually the baby that came out of your body. She's the one that decided to put all of these weird things in place. And I don't know. I think this story isn't going away. But let's move on. Number 42 in the worst moments of 2024, Christopher Boozy, the honorary head of the Sussex squad, spreads anti-Catherine conspiracies. I went on Megyn Kelly's show in the US to explain what was going on. Watch.
Issue. So Christopher Boozy, he is effectively the spiritual leader of the Sussex squad. Now, the Sussex squad, Meghan, they're actually a really nefarious force on the internet. They are the biggest group of trolls in the world. I think the vast majority of them are fake. I've learned that the key ringleaders will run hundreds and hundreds or even thousands of accounts. Bots are involved. But what the biggest issue is that Boozy claims to be the guy who's railing against internet trolling, just like Harry and Meghan do. Harry in his role at the Aspen Institute as this disinformation czar. And yet, when it comes to this story, they are the ones leading the charge when it comes to disinformation, trolling, and abuse. So I'm going to quite publicly now, Meghan, again, call on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, if they really believe what they say about trolling and disinformation on the internet, Harry and Meghan, the time has come for you to completely disassociate with Christopher Boozy and the Sussex squad. If you are not prepared to do that, I believe you are leading this charge against your own family with online trolling. And I think it makes him the biggest hypocrites on the internet.
But first, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. But now one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. He says they hardly make a dent on your appearance, and some can even be harmful to your skin. Recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices. Why? So he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough, one that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. It's almost like Photoshop for your face. You may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view, Lake told reporters. His personal clients have dubbed his new do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public, free and uninterrupted, where he outlines exactly how to use this simple solution from home. If this helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, I'll be thrilled knowing I helped, Dr. Lake commented. The video has since gone viral. At first, it was shared by users on Facebook, but since then, it's racked up over 2.3 million views and counting. So far, the comments and feedback have been outstanding, with thousands of women reporting they look decades younger. So one viewer commented, "Best results of anything I've used. I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you." So you can find out much more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/outspoken, or you can just click on the link in the description box below or the show notes below this video. So let me repeat the address, bhmd1.com/outspoken. Now, there is one thing Dr. Lake asks from his viewers. If watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. So, go watch the video at www.bhmd1.com/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below. And there he is. Slater and Leilani Dowding. This guy actually appeared in Harry and Meghan's Netflix series. They have never dissociated from the man. And this year, Christopher Boozy shamed himself, Slater, with absolute mistruths. You know, he claimed that the video that Catherine filmed announcing to the world that she was suffering from cancer, he claimed that wasn't Catherine in the video, June. He claimed that it was a Catherine lookalike who went to the farm shop. I mean, This is such debilitating nonsense for a woman suffering from cancer. But what makes me sick is that this is a man directly associated with Harry and Meghan.
Well, first of all, what's it got to do with him? It's only an opinion like anybody else. The woman has had cancer. I find it very strange that two very high-ranking royals have suddenly had cancer after this last few years. I won't go down that rabbit hole. And now the Queen, what's she called, Camilla, she's not so good. But surely somebody should give this woman some space. I mean, whatever she is and whatever your view is on the royals, Kate Middleton has not put a foot wrong. She has dutifully done her work and she's impeccably dressed. She does the right things. She clearly loves the family. She's like a Lady Di without the infringement of the neediness of Diana Spencer. The royals, I don't think, would have lasted as long as they have if it wasn't for characters like Diana and Kate bringing a bit of glamour, bringing a bit of love, bringing a bit of emotion to the royal family. Just leave the woman alone. What's it got to do with him? Who is he at the end of the day? He's well off and he supports the Sussexes, who seem to spit their dummy out at every opportunity. They're the also rans of the royal family. Even if everything was hunky-dory, they still would be secondary news. And what's happening, I think, maybe because she's American, that possibly Meghan Sparkle has decided that she should be in front page news. She's got herself a prince. But the way they've conducted themselves, alienating themselves from everything that lad basically loved, including his grandma, it's not the way to do it, is it? We're British. There's a lot of this country, especially servicemen who signed up to Queen and Country. They hold those vows and those pledges seriously. And the younger royals, these two, are making a mockery of it all, especially by, oh, well, he's well off and he's a multimillionaire, whatever he is. So if he says it, it must be right. The woman's been through cancer. She will have felt rough. She will have lost weight. She's thin anyway. You don't know what it did to her hair. You don't know what it did to her demeanor. She loves the kids. She would have been thinking about not being there to be a mother for a kid. She'll have had enough on. Back off, back away from the vehicle. Leave Kate alone. Let her come out whenever she comes out. Stop trying to, that's the drawback of the internet. This is a family that's having its issues with health. We all get them. We all need our time to handle it in our own way. And the last thing we want is idiots discussing whether or not Kate Middleton's latest appearance is AI or a stooge. Leave the woman alone. Let her go back to doing what she's doing. I think it's revolting.
Indeed. And Leilani, that was the thing that was most despicable about Boosie's actions. Even when it was announced that Catherine had cancer, he didn't stop. And this was all about, remember, this complete nonsense that William had somehow forced Catherine to disappear. I mean, all of this was nonsense. The woman had just found out after a really serious operation that she was suffering from cancer. Now, most of the cretins who spread those rumors, like Stephen Colbert and others in America, at least once they realized that Catherine had cancer, they decided to step back. But not Christopher Boosie. He just wouldn't stop.
Well, the fact that he was in their whatever documentary, that awful show that they put out, that's pretty bad, because that means that they are close in some way, and must be, to Harry and Meghan. So, like you said, Harry and Meghan should have called on them for him to step out and step down. But actually, none of this would have even have taken place if Meghan did what she said she was going to do and went off to America for privacy. Well, a complete opposite of that, wasn't it? Complete opposite of privacy. She went over to America. As you and I, Dan, we said at the time, you do not go to California to go and live privately. You don't go to Hollywood to go and live privately. You don't go speaking to George Clooney and all the rest of it if you want a nice little quiet life. We called this was all for her to expand her career. She didn't want to go, doing what the royals do, which is going in and listening to people. She would have to go and listen to people up in a biscuit factory in, like, I don't know, Scarborough or somewhere, not the
Yes.
most glamorous parts. She'd have to
Actual
listen.
work like Princess
Yeah.
Anne and Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, do every
But she
single
never
day of their
wanted to
lives.
listen, did she? She didn't want to listen and put on a demure dress. She wanted to talk and talk and talk and have a go and be a podcast or a commentator. Don't be, you know, the wife and representative of Harry and the royal family if you're going to want to talk instead of listening to the British people. So, you know, the whole thing, none of this would be if she had just gone away like she promised she would do at the start. Go away, live your life of privacy, get out the public British life and the royal life. But no.
No, that's not what she wanted. Now, at number 41 on the list of the worst of 2024, Angela Rayner becomes Raving Rayner. But this is not my issue. My issue was that she was claiming taxpayer money on this jaunt. Watch.
Makes sense. We said that we would still be friends, but I looked and I was glad it was over.
Raving Rayner. Now, look, maybe I wouldn't have such a problem with this, June Slater, if the Labour Party wasn't constantly going on at Nigel Farage, as we discussed earlier, for going to the US, and if she hadn't claimed any expenses from the night out. The other thing that annoyed me, June, is that she immediately turned this into an issue of class and being a member of the working classes. Now, June, not many people in the working classes go to an Ibiza nightclub where it costs £15 for a bottle of water, and to sit on that table costs thousands and thousands. It's a very odd way for a member of the working class to act.
Well, it's a no-brainer from Angela Rayner, isn't it? Angela's been off and had a bit of a jolly, and not only that, she claimed all money back because she went in a works frock. I mean, she didn't even dress like a clubber, did she? She could have shown a bit of flesh and had a spray tan, for God's sake. It's just, you talk about two-tier police, and this is two-tier socialising. Oh, if Nigel Farage does something, well, let's send a BBC reporter, let's go and report it and find out how he's doing it and why aren't you in your constituency. You're just new in the job. What the hell are you doing on your holidays? Get back to work. This is a big-time job you've got. You're Deputy Prime Minister. I mean, there are rumours that Keir Starmer doesn't even like her. It looks like a bit of a bloody misogynist to me, but that's just personal opinion.
Oh, he don't like her. He does not like her. No way.
And she'll go against everything he stands for. He's a stuffed shirt. He's a robotic. He's like the breakdancer of politics. And we've got her for Deputy Prime Minister. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I just have these visions of like an international meeting with the president of China and Putin, and Angela Rayner turned up because Keir's having a day off sick because he's finished his work at 6 o'clock on a Friday, and he's gone outside Angela and hiya, Poots. You know, come on.
I know.
She's not very popular.
And the thing is, it just infuriates me, Jude. Lilani, how people always, with Angela Rayner, give her the benefit of the doubt. It's like, no. As June said, she had just become Deputy Prime Minister. And they're really angry about Nigel Farage going to the Republican convention. But with Angela Rayner, the brand new Deputy Prime Minister, they don't give a damn about her going to get pissed up at an Ibiza nightclub. She actually gets special treatment compared to any other politician.
Absolutely. And like you said, that contrast of, you know, being so angry at Farage going to a rally or a convention versus her getting drunk at a nightclub. So absolutely, to me, That in itself is insane. But the fact that she put that out there, like, hey, this is what all normal people do. We go dancing at nightclubs. Like, I think it was like 800 quid a ticket. She's in the
Yes.
DJ booth. No, I'm sorry. People don't behave like that unless you got special treat, unless you're a little bit special. And so that's not what normal people do. That's not how normal people behave. So don't put it out there like you're some normal everyday person.
Yeah.
You're still Angela Rayner repping the working class. You're not. You're absolutely not.
Exactly.
You're
the best
showing
thing
off
you could
now.
do for the working classes, Angela Rayner, is take your job seriously.
Yeah.
And I would argue that a deputy prime minister doing that within days of getting the job is not taking the job seriously. That's not me having having any sort of go at the working classes. I come from the working classes. That is all about saying she gets special treatment, and that if they're going to hound Nigel Farage every day, then we should have a problem with the deputy prime minister acting like an absolute fool at a nightclub. I just actually found it really embarrassing. I found the media
As well,
response
you know
really
what?
embarrassing.
Her and I are about the same age. I can't imagine myself taking videos like that and putting it out. Hey, I'm just trying to be like Miss Normal. No, absolutely not. It's embarrassing. It really is.
Yeah. But June, I think you're right to point out that tension with Starmer. And I think there's a serious possibility, actually, that Angela Rayner ends up Prime Minister by the end of this term. I cannot see Starmer staying in power. He is so despised. He is so hated. There's no way that job is going to go to robotic Rachel Thieves, who lied on her CV. And the thing about Angela Rayner is there is something authentic about her. And if this is going to be a battle with Nigel Farage, as June predicts it will be, I don't know. I honestly believe, and it's scary. It's scary. I don't want it, but I honestly believe that Angela Rayner could be Prime Minister at some point over the next couple of years. But wow, June Slater, Leilani Dowding, thank you so much for being here to kick off the countdown of the worst of 2024. And thank you both so much for being a big part of Outspoken this year.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dan.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.